Welcome back. Tomorrow, a plea deal that could spell big trouble for Representative Matt Gaetz. Former Gaetz associate Joel Greenberg is expected to admit he committed 6 crimes, including sex trafficking. He's also promised to cooperate with investigators as they look into who else may have been involved with these crimes. Today, Gaetz has renewed his denial of any involvement. With that, I want to go to NBC's Vaughn Hilliard, who's been following this for us. Vaughn, great to see you. So the congressman has always maintained that he's done nothing wrong. But last night, he went a little bit further. Talk us through this.
Yeah, Yasmin, Matt Gaetz has not stopped himself from being public or going on the road, even essentially campaigning. He was in Florida last week. And then you mentioned he spoke to a couple hundred Ohio GOP activists last night where he addressed these very allegations, but interestingly was downplaying them or comparing them to earmarks in Congress and whether those should be considered legitimate or not. Take a look at his remarks there, in which he said, quote, "I'm being falsely accused of exchanging money for naughty favors. Yet Congress has reinstituted a process that legalizes the corrupt act of exchanging money for favors through earmarks, and everybody knows that's the corruption." Matt Gaetz, just this week on Friday, he's going to be in Arizona with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. But that very event could be shadowed by the fact of what Joel Greenberg, that tax official and associate of Matt Gaetz, says tomorrow in court. So far, we have court documents from Friday in which Greenberg has pled guilty to 6 charges and has said that he's willing to work with federal authorities. In those court documents, he implicates, quote, other men, but he has yet to reveal those names of those other men. Does that include Matt Gaetz? That is the question that we may get the answer to tomorrow. As part of that plea agreement, he admitted to 150 financial transactions to women paying for sexual acts. But one of those women included a minor, in which Joel Greenberg admitted that a minor was among those women. And it was not just him, but there were, again, quote, other men who engaged with that woman. We should note Matt Gaetz and his team have vehemently denied these allegations, including just last night, yet again, saying that he has never paid women for sex and is not engaged in sexual acts with a minor. Again, tomorrow, though, in that court appearance, could be big to see the extent to which Congressman Matt Gaetz will have to defend himself.
Hey, just quickly, Vaughn, what is Gaetz' standing in the Republican Party right now?
He's a vocal he's a vocal member of Congress. You know, it was last month that he was over in Wyoming calling for the ouster of Liz Cheney. And what happened this week? Liz Cheney's out of office. He and Marjorie Taylor Greene have taken that public eye. They're on a what they're calling an America First tour, saying that they are carrying on the message of former President Donald Trump. Again, they're going to be in Arizona, further propagating these election conspiracies to undermine the American electorate's faith in this election system. So with all of this overshadowing him, he's still very much front and center in this Republican Party today.
Quite a duo. Vaughn Hilliard on Capitol Hill. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.